Let me tell you about my best friend. My best friend, Janell Banks. It's episode 117. She's my best friend. All right, Janell Banks, nominated as Best Local Stand-Up Comedian for the Pitch Awards this year. We don't have the results just yet for any of that, so stay tuned for all that. However, got her on the podcast, and me and her hit it off, had a really good time. I love having comics on. I love laughing or learning, right? And I'm laughing with these people all the time. Love comics. Great episode, 117, Janell Banks. Miss Just Laugh on Instagram. I'll post all that stuff. Find it. Listen to it. You guys are going to have a good time with this episode. What more can I say? Why waste the time? Get started with this fun one.
Welcome to the Inner Talk Podcast. We'll no topic is off limits. Now here's your host, my daddy, and Void of Soul. Thank you for coming to the Inner Podcast. Boom, swat, boom.
And 3, 2, 1. Stretch marks and tattoos.
Yes.
What do you got around? What's this necklace I just now noticed?
Yes, these are some stones. This is a unicorn stone, and this is pyrite. So all about energy and projecting good energy and creative spaces.
Oh, you're one of those energy people that believes in like stones and crystals?
I just did it. I just got into it because of the pandemic. You got to believe in something. You got to,
And nothing you've believed in has worked so far, so you're like, fuck it. Let me throw some crystals into the mix.
I just wanted to be stronger. I think I'm very strong in faith, and it has got me through. But I just wanted to look at, some other forms of energy and light, just because I feel like I'm a super empath. And so, yes, I am an empath to the 10th power. The stones, I think, are kind of a physical and a metaphoric reminder to like block it.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You just made me think about crystals in a whole new way, like a completely different way. Like, I don't necessarily laugh at them, but I certainly don't believe that minerals give any kind of power. I don't believe in that. I believe in science. However, the science part that I believe in that is the part where you're looking at it and it's just like a reminder. And so if it triggers something in your head to think about that or think more positive, then that's where that science could kind of meet the woo-woo.
Yeah, that's
okay.
You
sold me.
Yeah, I look at crystals. I get crystals that are all about protecting or warding off negative energy or just filling other people's energy. And crystals in regards to like just boosting positivity and creativity. Being a comic, I find I always have to be creative in some type of light and perspective. So it's kind of like, even though it's a rock, but it's like you look at it and you're like, move your ass, Janell.
Right.
Get it together. So
yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah. Like I said, you really did. Like you see, I have a couple crystals here that have been given to me.
Yes. And
they mean different things. And I mean, they haven't so far caused anything negative to happen to me.
Absolutely. I was trying to figure out, I was like, is that a quartz or amethyst?
Which one? The purple?
The purple. It looks like an amethyst kind of, or a quartz. And then I think that might be a form of citrine, the bigger one.
I think that's salt.
Salt? Okay.
I think that's salt. I don't know what this purple one is. I forgot. I'll have to ask my buddy.
Okay.
And I had another one, but I lost it at my first live event that I did.
Okay. I'm going to get you another one.
That'd be dope. Janell Banks we have here. We just started talking. You are a comic. Not only are you a comic, but you were nominated for Best Local Stand-Up for the Pitch.
Yes.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
How did that happen, do you know? Did you campaign for it? Did you ask people? Like, was that something you were seeking?
So I honestly did not know that I knew they had a lot of categories, and I felt like I never had seen that category. So the last day of nominations, ironically, I was just like, I text a lot of friends and ask people on social media, like, if you've seen me, hey, like, please nominate me because I work hard. But I had just recently won runner up in Kansas City Magazine.
Oh, nice.
Best of KC. So
Good job.
I was like, I should try to aim for the pitch. I could do, because the pitch is just, it's a staple in Kansas City,
Yes,
So
the pitch is a legend.
Exactly. So I was like, just to have my name on it, I could die and
Fuck
be
Kansas
totally
City Magazine.
fine.
Can I just say that real quick?
Oh no!
Fuck Kansas City Magazine.
Well, I
don't like their voting. I don't like their best of. I think it's bullshit. I think it's a sham. I wish it would go away. I think they're copping. I think they're biting the pitch, and I'm not down with it. And I think the way they do it is garbage.
Well, except for that best local comic category, everything else can burn down.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah. You can have it. You got it, dude. You persuaded me.
However, if you won it or do win it next year, I think that's awesome, and I'm not going to disparage it. I think it's cool. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the pitch is where it's at, right?
Yes. I'm just thankful that people, have acknowledged my comedy. I've been at the Comedy Club of KC and Improv for the last couple of years, just grinding it out, and just across the country. I'm not just a comic, I live here, but I do comedy everywhere. So yeah.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't get you on before the end of voting, because we scheduled this before nominations even came out. And then when they came out, I was like, oh, cool. Like, you got nominated. I was like, sweet. However, Brandon Patrick, friend of mine, friend of the show.
Yes.
He wants you to win.
Yes.
Big time. I don't know if you saw that or heard that.
I did.
Okay.
I did. I was on the road and I'm like, oh, Brandon spoke of me, and now I feel like an angel. I do. Because Brandon's very picky with his words.
He is. He's a big fan of yours.
That's awesome.
Big fan of yours.
That's awesome. That's good to know.
Yeah, he told some good
We had the first time we worked together.
Yeah, he told you guys had a little bit of beef.
That's
on. You got this one off on purpose.
Oh no, I just have a big head. It's because the bun.
No, I mean the ear part. Like, you got it.
Oh, am I? I didn't know. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, flip it. Like, see, you have it like this.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Oh, it's gonna sound much. Oh yeah.
Oh, duh.
How's that sound?
Oh my God.
Hey.
Duh. So stupid, y'all. And then I'm nervous.
You're nervous?
I always get nervous when I'm like in a situation where I have to speak on a microphone. Unfortunately. Okay. Yeah. That makes such a difference because I'm like, why is that so? Yeah.
To those of you listening at home, she only had one ear. What are these called? Headphones. Yeah. Only one ear on, and the other ear was accidentally off.
Yeah.
Now she got both plugged in.
Yeah. Now I feel the jazz.
I want to hear your Brandon Patrick story, because he told me you guys had maybe not necessarily beef, but you guys were not fans of each other. Like, you guys did not kind of get along for quite a while. You know how it started? Do you want to?
I don't like with comedy. It's weird here. I love every comedian here, and I know it comes off as I don't, but I do. But I guess we're competitive. I don't know, and there's a kind of a divide in comedy here. There's these guys on this side, these guys on that side, and I guess he was just on the other side of those guys. I never really had an issue with him. I think I just felt kind of butthurt because that side of wherever he was on, it's like they didn't acknowledge me as a comic here, and I'm like, dude, I'm funny and I'm working the same circuit y'all are. Like, be nice to me. And I don't think it was like, I didn't really have a personal thing against him. I just thought, since he was with this group of guys that, he didn't really like me. But I think, you always hear hearsay, and maybe it was something said about me, or I think it was a question of why do I get certain comedy opportunities, and I was just like, why would he question that? Like, I'm funny, he has to. But I think Brandon had never seen me perform, before then, so he had no idea. And then we got put on a show together, and he was like, okay. you're funny.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
kind of, you made me giggle. And I was like, oh, okay. And we had IHOP together and we're better now, you know?
Yeah, no, that's what he says. He's
Yeah.
like, he's like, after that, you guys had a night at, was it IHOP?
Yeah, we had a very traumatic life, just life thought-provoking night at IHOP.
Whoa, what happened?
Well, we had a phenomenal weekend of comedy with the legendary Rodney Perry. And we decided, improv food's not good enough. We got to get some brunch at midnight or 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever. So when we get to the IHOP, there's literally a sign on the door. And I believe it was handwritten, if I'm not mistaken, that was like, there's going to be a wait. I don't know, it didn't say it like that. It was very like chicken scratch. Y'all gonna wait. Like, I forgot. So we were like, nah, we're good. But Rodney Perry was like, nah, we gotta, like, we're comedians. We gotta experience this. Like, we gotta see why it's gonna be a wait. So we go in and basically the manager comes out and gives us the tea. She's just like, yeah, there's a 2-hour wait because such and such quit. There was an altercation tonight. 2 people got into it on the staff because they're dating. And I mean, just gave us the full. So we were invested at this point. So then we became the gatekeepers. Anytime anybody walked in, we explained to them, hey, if you want to wait it out with us, we're famous. So it'll be fun. Or you cannot wait and go to all the other IHOPs in Kansas City, right. Or the Waffle House or whatnot.
House, that's where I'm going.
Exactly. And it just, like, every moment in the IHOP got it upped its ante every time, we literally waited, I think, like an hour and a half or 2 hours. But we were entertained. We entertained ourselves, and it was like an altercation in the restaurant. And I don't think it was like patrons of the restaurant. I think it was the staff. So there was another fight. And so then when we finally, was seated, the waiter that we had came in and just kind of gave us the back scoop of what happened. Cause I think he was also dating somebody on the staff. And so he gave, so of course.
That's so rampant among restaurants. Staff's always dating each other and impregnating each other. I've worked at many restaurants, and they're all having sex and making babies.
The IHOP off of whatever said location. I don't even want to give their location.
Why not?
I don't want corporate to know that's what's happening.
Who's corporate? Who do you work for?
Listen,
who do you work for,
right?
Janell? Come on, you owe IHOP money. Which location? People want to go see. People are going to want to go to this and see. You're going to tell the story. We want to go to the scene of the crime.
It is the what is that? 64th Street off of 29.
Okay.
So way up north. Yeah. So extreme. So after we were seated, we
72nd Street maybe, or 64th.
It's 60. I think it's 64th Street.
Okay, up towards the airport.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But like a little, like before Berry Road.
Before Berry Road.
Yeah, like the exit before Berry Road, probably 2 exits before Berry Road.
A couple exits before, like that in a tub.
Yeah.
I know exactly where that IHOP is. Exactly.
Yes. And it's like you just want to just keep driving north and go to the Waffle House instead, girl. So, the waiter gave us the scoop. We waited forever for our burn food. One of the people that was with us actually got food poisoning, so that's another side story. Like, the IHOP story never ends. And it, like, we will.
So your waiter comes and tells you what's going on. It's
like, well, he was telling us the backstory and then why he got into it with his ex or whatever, who also worked in the kitchen. And he explained to us what happened in the altercation we watched while we were waiting in the lobby. Like, he gave us the backstory of that. Then this is where it just got. This is what took the night away. I think this is when me and Brandon were like, we're locked into this for life. We will always have this bond. The manager then comes to our table, and it was like, I was like, is this Cheers? Do we know you? Because she told us her whole entire life and told us about her children and how she has a child who is autistic. And I love autistic children. I don't think they're anything different. I love them. Whatever. Anyways, she goes on this story about how she has to hide syrup because he eats syrup like constantly, and she buys it by the gallon because he likes syrup.
Just chugs it.
And then they have, she has
hey,
a
Mom,
lot of
can
kids.
I have a glass of syrup, please?
Yes. And so her kid is an extreme syrup eater, and at the time we're at the table, I think some of us had items that require syrup, but we had a friend who was eating her pancakes with peanut butter. So that's what made it even more interesting.
People do that. I've seen that.
Yeah, I like pancakes with peanut butter as well. And so we're looking at her like a serial killer because we needed something to distract us from this lady telling us this 30-40 minute story about her children and
she held you hostage.
She literally, and I was like, why would, there's background music in the speakers and we're at a table, it's like 6 of us, we don't need your conversation, because it was just like, she was like, are y'all doing good? She came to check on us, apologize for the wait, and like update us, everything's good in the kitchen, we're catching up because we don't have any customers. So I'm just like, well, why are my chicken tenders marked? But that's not an issue. I don't care at this point. But
I'd have sent them back.
Well,
I'd have sent them back, create a little bit more drama back there.
I mean, after doing
talk a little shit about them,
5 shows of comedy,
is there someone out there that can cook these better than the last person? Just start these little seeds of negativity back there. Just make it worse.
Let me tell you, comedy is a very
it's the anarchist in me.
It's a long job. People don't understand that. Like, before we go on stage, there's preparation. If the show starts at 7:30, then I'm in the mindset of getting ready probably around 2 to 4:30 that day. I probably actually physically am rushing to get ready between 5. Then I got to commute to the venue, which is 30 miles away from me physically. So a show starts, and we have 2 shows that night. They wrap up about 12:30. The improv closes at 1, and then we go out to eat, or go out for drinks. So it's 3:30 in the morning, and you've been doing this for 3 days straight. I'm not sending nobody back to that kitchen. That's fine. I'm going to go home and go to bed.
Okay. I'm done with my night. Just give me my food. I need some protein.
I'm going to eat this toast.
I'm going to bed.
Yep. I'm going to eat this toast. So it was, that's how we became friends, I guess. It was just, it was a respect for us as comics.
Yeah.
We both seen each other, because that was just a weird weekend of comedy for me. One of the guys that I was originally on the show with before Brandon, we were arch enemies. And, it's just, as a comic, you have to have professionalism. You have to work with people that you don't get along with. And this person got food poisoning in the middle of us working together, and they literally got sick in the green room. And instead of being a douchebag, I'm trying to get them, medicine, I'm rubbing their back while they're throwing up, getting cold towels and trying to help them. I'm a nice person. I'm like everybody's auntie, and trying to get them ginger ale and trying to pep talk them, you got to suck this up and we got another show, and then
I love you. You're beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I even offered to sell his merch for him while he was dead in the green room.
Nice.
So I'm a nice person. That's why I try to tell all comedians, you may catch me on a really bitchy day, but I'm a good person. I'm a Libra.
Yeah, I don't know much about that. Well, of course you're into horoscope stuff or astrology. Mm-hmm. You're into crystals, astrology.
Yes.
Have you probably go to a palm reader once a week?
No, I don't. Girl, don't tell me what's going to happen next week. I overthink. I don't want to know the future.
What do you think about spirits and ghosts and stuff like that? You into that? You believe in that?
I don't. I can't, because I'm too scary in a sense, but I do believe in spiritual, I just believe that maybe your past family members or friends possibly protect you, but not necessarily just these spirits or ghosts or whatever.
You don't believe in ghosts at all, or
in movies, but I don't think that they're just out there wandering around. I mean, who wants to be out here? I don't think there's no ghosts since this pandemic.
What if they get trapped here for whatever reason? Maybe this is like a purgatory. Or maybe this is another dimension that they're just traveling through or stuck in.
Well, I ain't ran into one of them yet. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I'm just wondering where you go with all of the stones and the
I kind of
astrology.
believe that there is.
And last week I had on some ghost hunters on. And
really interesting. I mean, I believe that there's kind of a spiritual purgatory or warfare, but I think that exists in the people who are still here that believe that's where that soul is trapped. We don't, I mean, that for all that person could feel relieved and released regardless. We don't know where they lie. So I can't say that it exists for a person. It just exists in our mindset, I think. You know.
Good answer.
Well, thank you. I be reading.
Yeah, I can tell. All right, so Brandon Patrick is a big fan of yours. You're a fan of him. Great stories there.
Yes.
And then, but the person that turned me on to you was a mutual friend of ours, Alan Wayne, the Prodigy.
Yes.
Yeah, shout out to Alan Wayne. He kind of hooked this up, really. So, and you go way back with him too, huh?
Super. The way we met is just the strangest, but I'm glad it happened. I'm glad that he exists in my universe. He came into my career and my life at a very good time. So you always need people who can motivate you and encourage you. And like sometimes being a comic is it's like an East Coast, West Coast Biggie and Tupac situation.
Around here?
Yeah. I mean,
is it north, south? Is that how it's kind of split up here?
No, I think it's just a personality thing. Some people just don't like. I think as a woman, I challenge the status quo. We have a lot of women in comedy here, but I think I shake it up because you can put me in any spectrum in comedy, any room, any type of audience. I mean, you could put me in a room with a 65-year-old and a 14-year-old, and I'm going to make them laugh at the same joke. I'm diverse when it comes to comedy, I feel like I call myself Selena, like I cross over, and so I think that can be very damaging to some people's egos. They don't expect it. I came out of nowhere, so.
But you've been in the game for quite a while.
Yeah.
How long you been? 10 years?
Not quite.
Okay.
I started in like 2011, late 2011 or 2012. And then I moved away from Kansas City to Houston. So I think that's the divide that people didn't realize I existed a long time ago here. And then I just came back and came out of nowhere.
How long you been doing the Kansas City? Just been in Kansas City doing comedy?
Since 2012. Then I came back in 2016, 17.
Okay, so most recently, for the past about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
when you perform locally, where do you perform?
I feel like I have performed
improv. You said
yes. The Uptown Arts Bar was like my start. Westport Coffee House was my real start. That's my first stage that I ever. Well, not the first stage, but the first stage where I was booked. The first stage ever where I ever felt comedy at was a place called. What was it called? I can't even remember what it's called. It was on 45th and Prospect. And it's like a hole-in-the-wall club, but it was like GQ's, I believe is what it was called. And then it moved to the Westport Coffee House. And, I've done the Buffalo Room, Uptown Arts Bar.
I don't know. I know the Westport Coffee House. I haven't heard of these other places.
Oh,
they don't. These are like what, open mics or something?
They're open mics or just spaces where people book shows.
Okay.
Outside of comedy, because comedy is, you just don't do comedy in comedy clubs. That's the goal. But there's just so many spaces, coffee houses, and just rooms in the back of bars. I use the pizza place in Westport is my jam. The KC Pizza Kitchen is like a big room for me. Like I've done, comedy. That's a comedy home for me in the back of a pizza spot.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've done it just every little event center and space you can imagine in Kansas City.
Killing the game.
Trying.
Putting in the work.
I put
grinding.
literally grind. And I work a full-time job and a very demanding full-time job while I travel The places in the festivals, I do a lot of comedy festivals as well.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I do Black Girl Giggles, Black Women in Comedy Festival, in Brooklyn, New York, and in New Orleans is Black Girl Giggles. Memphis, Lord. There's a M. There's a second M in Memphis, y'all. Urban Laughs Comedy Festival, of course, in Memphis, Tennessee.
Ooh, I'd like to do that. I'd like to go to Memphis.
I love Memphis. I actually did a show there last weekend. It was my first show back on the road since March, and it was phenomenal. I got to finally do some sightseeing and just.
You want some more whiskey?
I'm still working on this. It's good.
It's watered down.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. The ice is melted. Now,
not too much. Not too much.
You tell me when.
When?
Okay. Brought to you by High West Whiskey Double Rye. Okay,
that's
go
good.
on.
It's so yeah, I do a lot of comedy festivals. I travel a lot. I do New York a lot. I've been able to do Rodney Dangerfield's club.
Oh, cool.
The Broadway Comedy Club of New York. So I've been able to do LA, anywhere in between Omaha, somewhere in the middle of Ohio. Like, I love New Orleans. That's a good comedy scene for me. I love Memphis comedy scene and their group of comics. So I travel a lot. I love doing and just meeting other comics. And we have I think maybe 10 women here that do comedy. So I love to go to other cities because you just got to see that representation. I like to see that. So because every show you see in Kansas City is going to have maybe one chick on that lineup. And I mean, unfortunately, I've been that one chick, so I love to go to other cities and just see funny women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many comics in Kansas City would you say there are, promising good comics?
I don't know. I feel like we all are. I mean, there's a group.
I'm saying anyone that call it from open micers to improv. I don't know.
I'm going to say a lot of us that, I feel like there is a solidarity and a fraternity. It's like we have a secret head nod. We know.
Yeah, but are they good? I'm sure you can respect other people. I get it. We do the same thing, head nod, respect. But are they someone that you respect? As in they're funny, they're legit, they're promising, they could go somewhere with
there's
this?
a group of us that I think, especially, I think there's a group of us that have been really grinding it out during this pandemic, and we've kind of seen each other at shows and at performances, and we're like, I see you, you're not afraid, because I think that's what turned real comics into real comics. And I think that's just artistry. People have to realize during any pandemic and any time in our history where we have suffered or had a recession, artists, not just comics, but artists, period, have been the most resilient individuals ever. We are always kind of in a pandemic. We always have to find ways to still be creative and move with the flow of technology or what, people view our art as. We're very flexible and fluid people. And so I think coming out of this pandemic, it was just a group of us that were like, I don't care what you say, I'm touching this mic. I didn't do it for 2 or 3 weeks straight and I went crazy. Yeah, I could do viral, virtual shows, but it's not. It's the energy you get from laughter. When you start to do real rooms, you realize that laughter rolls up and it rolls back to you. You get, and if you don't feel that, I know I've killed it on virtual shows and gave people something, but comedy, I've told people during this pandemic, we're like pastors, we're like preachers. We give people a peace of mind and solace that you won't get, and we give it to them in the verbiage that they need it in. I know if people go to church and their pastor just threw a couple of motherfuckers in the sermon, you can relate even more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's what comedy does, and so there's a lot of comics that they were like, fuck that. I can't,
Those
I can be afraid.
Nailed him to the cross. Let me
Let me tell you, these Judas bitch ass, So it's, for me, I see a group like, there are, like, for instance, I know Brandon hasn't touched a lot of stages, but he knew how to go and touch people's ears. And that was a big thing, having the common sense and having that knowledge. So that's one of the reasons I respect him. Aaron Scarborough, like, he's a grinder, and he's a creative, period. He's a painter. So he understands, I think, the artistry of comedy. And we had conversations.
Who is this?
Aaron Scarborough. He was also nominated as Best Local Comic.
Is any good?
He's good. And he's consistent. He's been on your show. Shut up. I think he gets, like, I had a conversation with him, and I'm like, I know that other comics will tell you you're crazy and you're sacrificing your health, but is this something that makes you happy? He's, I know, one of those comics that he celebrates sobriety. And
who the fuck celebrates? He tolerates it.
Oh, whatever.
Who wants to celebrate that?
I celebrate it for him. But for, like, me, comedy has saved my life. So I get it. I tell people, for me, like, it's my mental health check.
Fall off the wagon, Aaron. I bet you were so fun to drink with. I would love
Aaron,
for him.
Do it. I would
love
Aaron.
for him to fall off the wagon so hard and just come on the show, get drunk as hell with me on some High West whiskey, and just tell me all the things he's been holding back and reserving for the past 2 years.
You are such a douche.
Thank you.
But yeah, there's a lot of comics. Oh my gosh, I can't even. Character. Oh my God. Her name is Monisha Williams. You should definitely have her on your show. She is a person.
Set it up.
I will do it.
Let me write it down.
I will do it. She is a phenomenal, like, she's the most positive person ever. She won't let you ever be mad at a comic. You'll be like, oh, fuck that person. And she's like, no, but he's a child of God and you gotta love him. And, he ate an Impossible Burger that day. He didn't know any better. Forgive him. She's just very optimistic, and she's consistent, and she makes friends with any comic, and it's hard to find, like I said, it's an ego thing, and then sometimes you have to realize I'm a human. Would I hang out with a group of white dudes as a black woman? Nah. So, but she's, she just goes outside that box, and she sees good in everybody. And for her, it's simply about comedy and being funny. So I think having that positive mindset consistently, and, like, she don't need crystals, she just got it up here. And so I can appreciate that. And, like, she works at the comedy club, and then if the comedy club is like, yo, somebody's late, she fills in, and she just is optimistic. And I love that. You have to have that fresh perspective, just, because sometimes you get so far, like, I know Brandon is a seasoned comic, and sometimes we feel like we don't have to tolerate certain shit in our careers and have to be around certain people. Not to say that we become divas, but sometimes you almost have a Mariah Carey mindset. Like, I don't know that person. I don't want to work with them. No, I'm good. And she just keeps you grounded. She keeps you focused on, like, girl, we still can all be, we just one show away from an open mic. So, yeah.
That's awesome. How did you get into, like, your first open mic? Like, what made you do your first, like, get up on stage for the first time and start trying to be funny?
This whiskey is kicking in.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm on an episode of SpongeBob, and it's like,
that's not just whiskey. It's acid.
Oh no,
you're about to go on a 12-hour tour.
Oh no. Oh my gosh, I just watched Wentworth when they laced the chick with LSD, and I was like, I think I want some LSD. That looks fun.
You're too old for that. That's a young man's game. That is a young man's game. I'm telling you what, that's like, 21, 22, 19, like.
Yeah, my body ain't got it. So how I got into comedy. So I've always, like, there was a guy, and I still remember him to this day. I'm so glad we're Facebook friends. His name was Jonathan Smith. In the 3rd grade, Jonathan Smith was like, you should be on Comic View. This was in 1993 in the 3rd grade. Somebody was like, you should be on Comic View. My little ass in 3rd grade. Do you imagine what type of 9-year-old I was if somebody was like, you should be on Comic View at 9 years old? You know, so, and that always resonates with me because I always wanted, you know, I was like, how do you even become a comedian? What is the path? How do you do it? How do you know, like, how are these kids on Nickelodeon at the same age as me? You know, I'm in Kansas City. I don't have resources and tools, and I have crooked ass teeth and a single mother. What am I supposed to do? So first open mic experience, fast forward, I was working at a call center with a person who just happens to be a world-renowned comic, because comics always have hustles. You never know where comedians are in their life, in
this
their
was
path.
Before they were this person was before they blew up as a world-renowned comic, or they were
already doing
and working in the call center.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Yeah, her name is Miss Q, and she is from Kansas City.
Miss Q.
Yes, Miss Q. And you know, we just happened to be working together, and at this time, like, I was, you know, just out of college, and you know, I was a poet baby.
Oh, cool.
And I loved doing poetry and going to, like, I would never do a poetry slam per se as against someone, but I would love to perform and just hit the stage and be like that opener. So I was that person. But anytime I did poetry, whether it be erotic or whatever, I would always give a backstory, and it was always hilarious. People would laugh at me. In college, I was that hype man and MC for any sorority event. I was, you know, always the MC for anything related to Greek life. And so I've always had, like, this special knack on the mic. So fast forward, we're at a bar, a club at GQ's, and Miss Q hosts, like, this monthly or this weekly open mic or whatever, just a room where comics, like these comics that have been in the game for a minute, can come work out their material, but they can also compete. So my friend, we went to support her because we met her working with her or whatever, you know, and she was like, if I buy you a drink, you should get on the mic because you're stupid. Like, because that's what we say. We don't say people funny. We say, you stupid.
I know.
So
I get called stupid all the time, and I know it's a compliment.
Exactly. Like, they not trying to say you slow. You funny than a motherfucker. So I was like, you know, it was like, you know, they had drink specials. I was like, if you do Crown Royal, because this is back in my younger days.
I ain't trying to get no 250.
Yeah, I don't want no I don't want no rum and coke. I want Crown Royal. Right. I was like, I want that $8 drink, you know. So she gave me, she bought me this drink. I was like, I'm gonna do it. So I went up on the mic, and apparently it was amazing because I won. The competition, won against the poets and the comics, and came back like 7 weeks in a row and won over and over and over again, to where my name started to kind of get out. And so a guy, the jankiest promoter in the world, booked me for a show, and it was a comedy competition, and I won. And he was like, I think you won because you had more people in the crowd. I'm like, well, you told me to sell tickets, so of course I'm gonna sell tickets, you know.
Who cares how I won, bitch? I
won. Exactly.
Won.
So then he was like, I'm gonna have judges the next time. So the next time I won again, and he was like, well, all of my judges didn't show up. And I'm
why
like,
was he hating on you?
Because it's just because you don't want to pay out that money. That's why you don't want to pay out the money. Give me my damn money.
Well, he got paid to somebody.
Exactly.
So why?
But when you ain't got it, or you don't want to give it, you find every stipulation, and you know. But he still gave me my money. And
okay, was this a shady place that?
Well, the places were not shady. He was shady.
Okay.
So just from there, you know, my name started to get out in Kansas City, and you know, other people, comics always put on their own shows and produce their own shows, and so other comics would put me on their shows, and that's just where it started. Mm-hmm. And then when I moved to Houston, I kind of got dormant. I got afraid because Houston is a big city. It's intimidating.
Okay.
And then I was working as well as trying to commute, and it was just like commuting to a show after work. I could do that in Kansas City because everything is 10, 15, 20 minutes away. In Houston, you got rush hour traffic. And so it's intimidating to be like, I got to drive from this point in Houston to this point in Houston after work. So I just I would fly back home and do shows here. But once I came back, it was on. So,
Okay.
and it's been on ever since.
Good place to do comedy, or at least to live for comedy. Centrally located and all.
What I would say is that I struggle with. I was gonna move to New York. That was my next move. I was on my way to Harlem. I had things set up and in place and rotation because I felt like in order for me to go to the next level, I've got to get out of Kansas City. However, things have happened. I sat down with a comic in New York and she explained to me, because when I go to New York, it's like, it's a grind and it's like you got to network.
But there's so many different clubs are like, can't you work like 7 or 8 clubs in a night?
Exactly. And then that's why I love it, because you can literally hop to club to club. However, you have to be in a rotation and known by certain people to be able to do that. So like when I go to New York, like my club, like I can hop and maybe do comedy on 2 or 3 stages, but then the other 4 are me sitting back and watching goats.
You got to start building a reputation.
Exactly. But like I was able to go to the Comedy Cellar one night.
Nice.
Pat Brown, she's originally from Kansas City, legendary comic, lives in New York, and we met at a comedy festival. And you know, people were like, where are you from? And I'm like, Kansas City. And they're like, what? You know, because I'm in New York. So they're like, they don't think that this word, like, you know.
We're flyover country.
Exactly.
Right.
And so they're like, oh my God, Pat Brown's from Kansas City. So we performed together on the show. And they was like, do you understand? Like, there are funny women in Kansas City. I had no idea. And I'm like, yeah, we exist. You know, Eddie Griffin, Pat Brown, we have some legendary people, but there's a new generation. Exactly. But there's a new generation of comedy here. You know, you got your Brandon Patricks, you got your Monisha, you got your Janelles, you got your Aarons, you know what I'm saying? You got your Thai food pandas, you got your Aces, there's a lot of comics here. So it's amazing that, people don't know us. And so that's why I love to travel, because it's like, not only are y'all shitting on my football team, you're shitting on Kansas City as a whole, and we're a beautiful country over here. So
Kansas City is one of the nation's best kept secrets. And the secret's slowly getting out there. I blame the Royals for the World Series runs back to back. And now that we got Patrick Mahomes and the Super Bowl and all that, Kansas City's just, the secret's out, the cat's out of the bag. People have already started moving here, including Google and all these other big tech companies. All these other big companies are starting to move in. So
absolutely.
But we're still a nice, small, little, excellent town.
Exactly. And I love it. And I think that's what makes me so proud to do. Like, because not only do I love doing comedy, but I'm just proud to do it. I'm proud to do it as a Black woman, and then as a fucking Black gay woman. You know, people, and somebody asked me last week in an interview, how do you feel comfortable doing it? I'm like, I don't think that my sexual preference has anything to do with the fucking microphone. It just doesn't, you know, besides the fact that this long pointed thing is in front of my mouth and I would never, but I think it's just, it's inspiring, because there's so many people. Like, Saturday Night Live came on last night in premiere. Punky Johnson, I met her at a comedy festival in New Orleans, and it's so, like, she's a featured on Saturday Night Live. And to see black women with dreadlocks, you know, there's constitutional laws that allow my hair, you know, in certain spaces. So to be able to just be Black, exactly. What? They literally just passed something this past week. Our mayor of the Crown Act for protecting.
Our mayor?
Yeah.
Quentin Lucas?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a fan. I love Quentin.
I
love Quentin.
He seems fine.
They just literally passed the Crown Act to protect Black women's hair in the workspaces and professional spaces.
When was it ever being attacked? How was it attacked?
There's literally a Supreme Court ruling against having Jamaica, and they're starting to ban. And I'm like, this is where we got this culture of hair from.
From where?
How can you ban it? You know,
dreadlocks?
Yeah.
Dreadlocks go back for fucking ever.
Forever. But this is what I'm saying. Like, this new generation and wave of people, we've been inspired by. So
some people say
Rasta
people can't
movement.
Have dreadlocks?
Yes, it's literally a law that bans natural hair, our natural state of hair, and dreadlocks. And so, and there's jobs. There's jobs. There was a young man here that went to apply for a job. I can't remember where it was. One of my friend's sons, Tyreek, he just graduated from Grandview Senior High School in Kansas City in 2020, denied a job because of his hair. And it was like it's a high school, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a customer service based job. It's not about my hair. It's about my personality, the service I give, what I exude doing my job, and how well I do my job. How is my hair? I could see if my presence, scared people away, but my hair, how is that an issue? So, I mean, to do stand up, to be a Black woman in spaces that
Who doesn't love dreadlocks?
The local agencies and governments.
I got
and
dreadlocks
Karens.
when I was like 20.
Well, they're trying to ban them. They're trying to ban them. They're trying to ban them. So that's why I love doing what I do. I go into spaces. The Comedy Club of Kansas City is one of my favorite clubs to do comedy at, and a lot of the times I feel like I'm the only Black person here. But it just shows you that comedy can cross over and transcend. It doesn't matter. I don't see color when I do comedy. I just don't. I see laughter. I see joy. I see coming together on a common message. So being able to be in this package and do what I do, I love it. I got deep. I'm sorry. It's the whiskey.
We get deep all the time on this. It's not just it's not just drinking and dicking around. Yeah, we get deep all the time.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. I know that there are certain, I don't know what to put. There's urban shows and the more white-centric shows. I don't know if they're white-centric. They just happen to be white comics and white audiences, but it's not like it's...
It doesn't.
A lot of it's not that it's race-based. It just happens to be... I don't know how, like you were saying, there's a separation, and Brandon was kind of talking a little bit about it too, like how there's kind of like urban comedy, if you will, and then I don't know what the opposite name of urban comedy is. I'm sure there's alt comics,
right.
Well, but there isn't like a urban comedy. There is like the alt comedy scene.
Well, yeah,
like
I mean,
probably frat boy comedy.
Yeah,
like,
there's
all
different genres.
Yeah,
there's definitely.
But comedy's comedy.
Different genres,
if you're up on a stage, trying to make strangers laugh, that's comedy.
Yeah, one of my favorite comics growing up was George Carlin. Old white guy.
Carlin.
I'm sorry. Carlin. Sorry. Duh. It's the whiskey. What was the guy? I want to say his name was Honest John, White John. He was on Comic View all the time, and even like, I'm sorry, I was a Roseanne Barr fanatic. Growing up,
Roseanne was a
classic.
She's a legend. She's stand-up
Rita Red,
legend.
all of them. I love them, and so to me, I never like watching those comedy specials on like HBO and I think Showtime or maybe Cinemax has some. I don't remember. I just remember I was watching shit I shouldn't have, and that's what excited me. But it just. I just saw laughter and the joy in that. And I just I was always that goofy kid. Like, I've always grown up as an insecure and shy kid. So the only way I've been able to communicate with people is through comedy. When I used to get teased as a kid, my defense mechanism was not fighting you. It was like roasting you, or because I don't like roasting because I'm soft. I don't like hurting anybody's feelings. My rebuttal was always.
I like to roast. I can.
I would like to call it my rebuttal. My response is always, something funny back. And kids didn't mess with me because they were just like, oh, she is cool. She's the funny kid. She's a cool kid you want to kick it with. She fat, but she got snacks. So I always try to find the silver lining in any situation. And comedy has always been humor has always been my silver lining.
I laugh.
I laugh at funerals. So.
Yeah, I haven't been to too many funerals.
Baby, they hilarious. Next one you go to, you gonna find something. You just gotta pay attention. It's hilarious.
It depends on whose funeral I'm going to. I've been to, I guess, 2 funerals. My grandpa and my grandma. That's the only. So I'm very ignorant to the funeral
laughed at
scene.
my grandmother. I bawled and cried, but I also laughed at my grandmother's funeral.
Okay, that's probably good.
Yeah.
I wish I would have laughed at. No, I didn't even go to my grandpa's funeral. I went to him dying. But I didn't go. But I didn't go to his funeral. Now that I think about it, I just went and watched him die. But I did go to my grandma's funeral. So yeah, I take that back. I've only been to one funeral.
Ooh, you lucky.
Is that lucky? Do I need to go? Do I need to educate myself on
practice.
funerals? Should I just
practice.
Look in the obituaries and just see?
Let me play that real quick.
I'm just gonna go to I'm just gonna go to random funerals and just.
Yeah.
Dress up all in black, maybe.
Sometimes, like seriously, sometimes
do chicks get horny at weddings? I mean, funerals. Can I maybe? You
definitely.
Dime piece?
I know. I've seen this in movies where people pick people up at funerals, but you really can. It's people. You do get free, and let me tell you, you will never have green beans like you have green beans at a repast, baby. Them the best green beans.
Oh, I'm definitely going to a black funeral.
Yeah,
I imagine their food's much better.
Amazing. It's so good. And sometimes it's not good, but black people will make it good. It just depends. Like we had a repast for my grandmother at a Catholic church, and the church wanted to provide food. And you're grieving sometimes. You're like, you will let the church do it. And we were like, okay, so we gonna fix this. We got it. And it's people who always cook. That's just when you're grieving, people always bring food. So, once you add everybody else side dishes in, that bland meat.
Well, that's what it's all about. It's all about the side dishes.
Exactly.
Any kind of get together. I'm a side dish freak.
Well, we going to get you some funeral green beans and some baby shower meatballs in your life.
What are the meatballs? I've never had the meatballs.
Meatballs.
Green beans, of course.
Yeah, meatballs.
I like neck bones a lot.
Ooh,
you throw that anywhere.
Have you did a seafood pot with neck bones?
No.
We're going to be friends outside of this.
Whoa.
So my mother.
Whoa, hold on.
I don't know if it's a Michigan thing.
Bones?
So instead,
Michigan thing? I'm from Michigan.
Okay, so down south, people normally do sausage.
I'm not from Detroit though. Sorry.
Yeah, so my people are from Grand Rapids.
Oh, my parents just moved from Grand Rapids. I've visited Grand Rapids a few times. Okay.
Shout out to my Grand Rapids family. I don't know where this comes from, but I feel like it comes from a northern hemisphere of our family.
Okay.
Because normally down south they do different things, mainly the sausage or crawfish, blah blah blah, chicken.
Oh, I live in Louisiana too.
See, yeah.
Oh, I miss crawfish. I miss real crawfish.
Exactly.
I have tried. I hate to get off subject or off a different road here. Mm-hmm. But I miss Cajun food. I miss Cajun food. I miss gumbo. I miss jambalaya. Mm-hmm. Every time it's around here, I try it.
But it's frozen.
It's frozen. It's never good. I eat food, and I'm picky, but I'll eat it, and I'll be cool with it, even if it's not that good. I went to this place called Pearl, and this was in Lee Summit. I just went a week ago, and I had their gumbo. I love gumbo. Fucking love gumbo.
Me too.
I sent it back. This was so bad. I sent it back. You ever get those, those powdered packets of gravy?
Mm-hmm. You can taste it.
This was like a whole bowl of that packet of gravy with some shrimp and sausage and some, they called it forbidden rice. It wasn't even regular. It was purple rice. I'm like,
I didn't ask for all the extra shit.
It back. I was like, I can't even eat it. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So
there's ways to make Zatarans better, y'all. Y'all gotta stop. But yeah, I don't even know where we went. Jesus,
I'm so sorry.
It's all good. We segued. But where were we at? We were talking about food.
Michigan food.
Michigan pot seafood pot.
With neck bones.
Yeah, so my mom, instead of using sausage and all that jazz, she uses neck bones, your shrimp, your crab legs.
Oh, bless her heart.
And it is amazing.
Oh my God, is she single?
My mom is single.
Oh my
and
gosh. Does she like white boys from Kansas City?
She ironically, let me tell you something. I am waiting for my stepfather to be Tom Hanks or somebody, because my mom has a white boy fetish. She does. She don't want to talk about it in public, but I will. I'm petty. She has had some lovers undercover that have been some beautiful, profound men of the peach.
Nice.
So
I never heard it put quite like that before. I like that.
The man of the peach.
I guess I like that, but I don't know. I kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm bossy. Georgia peaches are the best for eating. Who was that? Way back in the day. I'm bossy.
Oh, Kelly's.
Yes.
Yes.
Was that who that was? Was Georgia peaches the best? No, it was.
Yeah, so much right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. She's an awesome singer.
When I think of Georgia, or when I think of peaches, I always think of something like that.
Well, yes.
Georgia
I would
peach
don't play.
like
I will
that.
introduce you to my mama. I will. I'll be like, Mama, he got a podcast.
Yeah, but the only thing is if you can cook up, I mean, she's probably a little older than I prefer. But if she can cook me up
the
a
black
neck
don't
bone
crack
seafood,
unless you
yeah.
use it.
I can't believe you're 36.
Mm-hmm.
You can't believe I'm 40.
Mm-hmm.
If I shave my beard, it'd be even younger.
Yes.
If we were experimental and had a couple children or a kid, a kid would probably look like 16 for his entire life.
Straight up, the kid would look like they.
Do we owe it to society to create?
I'm with it. Like, so this is
a Vampire Diaries type child.
I just was like, I'm gonna come out of this pandemic with a boyfriend. He's gonna be white. I don't care what his name is. I'm gonna call him Chad. That's my thing. And I'm gonna grease his scalp, and he's gonna grease my scalp with coconut oil. I'm gonna teach him how to grease his scalp. So if you want to learn how to grease his scalp,
grease his scalp. I don't even know what that is.
Oh my God, it's just moisturizing my scalp.
Just yours?
I mean, if you
it's hard to get. You got a lot of hair there. Wouldn't you rather do mine? I mean, grease this bad boy up. Look, I just got a fade.
We can do each other's.
I mean, it'd be nice.
I do love beards. Beards are like I just feel like I'm this close to getting because I love beards. They're the most attractive thing. And I was trying to figure out why am I so attracted to beards, but I realized they're just upside down vaginas.
Okay. You want to touch my beard?
I want to, but I'm just going to be like, I want to do COVID rules. I don't want to do it, but I want to do it.
We're less than 6 feet apart.
But I'm not touching you. This is going to sound so dirty on your podcast.
Yeah, baby.
Ooh. Has it ever got this dirty on your podcast? Have you ever had a moment where you wanted to jump across the table and be like, it's about to go down?
Do you want to jump across the table and say it's about to go down? Charlie, record this. This is going on Pornhub. And I'm going to start an OnlyFans.
Do you want some stretch marks and tattoos today?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Do you like a British accent?
Yeah, whatever. I'm into role playing. Yes. Be a black English woman.
I would love to. I would love to be British.
All right. I wish I could do an accent, but I can't. I could be. Yeah,
Just pretend that you are Tom Hanks and Forrest Gump and you care about somebody's education.
Well, I can do that, Janell. Me and Janell were like peas and carrots again.
I love it.
I put my carrot right in between her peas. And I tell you what, we was eating shrimp and it was delicious.
Yo, Mama, don't care about your education.
Well, Mama was talking about a box of chocolates. She was talking about a box of chocolates.
Literally a box. I am a box of chocolates.
Yes.
Yes.
I can't do impressions. I'm sorry. I can't even do accents. God. I can't do nothing.
So that is one of the things that I want to work on stage is impressions. Like I grew up doing impressions and it's like my
of who?
thing.
What you got?
Gosh. It just varies on who I can do. Sometimes I have to kind of watch and study, and then I can do it, like right on the spot.
Like, who's your first impression that you're like, oh, this is who I'm going to try, and I nailed it. I got it down. Oh, my
gosh. I don't know. Like, I could do Goofy really good back in the day.
Okay. Gosh, Mickey.
I know. Yeah, that was my... I could do that. I've been working on Patrick. When I watch Patrick, I can really do Patrick Mahomes good.
Oh, Patrick Mahomes. I was talking about Patrick from SpongeBob.
Yeah, no, Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. He smells so you can do a Kermit the Frog impression.
Basically, yeah. It's defense. Defense is playing so well. I do a good Lois Griffin. That's I do Lois. Like anytime I drink wine, I turn into Lois Griffin.
Oh, do you need more whiskey? And I wish I could.
Ow, Peter! Ow, the whiskey is so good.
Nice.
Ow, yes, I will make a baby with you. Yes. So I like to do it. I have to learn how to work them on stage. You know, it's weird to just. I mean, I do have moments where I do become Lois Griffin because I believe when everybody's drunk, they are Lois Griffin. So, yeah, but I'm working on that. It's my superpower, I think.
You're Lois Griffin?
No, just trying to work on impressions. I feel like that's gonna take my career to the next level.
Yeah, we're all waiting on the next impressionist, the next Frank Caliendo. Like there's, I don't know. I wouldn't put a whole lot of stock into your impressions. I would work more on comedy over. What the fuck do I know? I'm just saying it. Well, impressions are fine, but they don't get anybody anywhere, do they?
I mean, yeah, I think they don't expect it coming from this package. You didn't expect Lois Griffin to come out of this package.
You know who's great but doesn't get any love or probably finances is oh shit. I had his first and last name. It's not Charles Winslow. Doggone it. You know, the guy that does the Police Academy guy.
Oh, yes. I feel like back in the day, he got a lot of stake. But yeah, it definitely, I don't feel like
I had his name and then
I can't think of it either. But I know who you're talking. Yeah. He does sirens so well.
Yeah. He was on Police Academy. Mm-hmm. Oh, see? Exactly.
I grew up I'm an improv. I was on the debate team and I did debate and forensics. I love acting and improvising. So I love being just random as fuck. I want to be on Saturday Night Live one day, but I'm 35.
Really? Saturday Night Live sucks.
Boo this man.
Are you kidding me? Saturday Night Live hasn't been good in 20 years.
You boo this man.
Really? What's the last it's not good.
It's different. It's just
what does different mean? Different means it's not funny. It's just it's more like more conscious, it's more like an I can't even, you know what? I can't even speak on it because I really haven't watched it in so long. The last time I watched a full episode was the Eddie Murphy one. Just because I'm like, yeah, I'm watching Eddie Murphy come back. I'm watching that. But it's just You can get a couple good skits in it, but it's a hour-long show. I'm not going to invest an hour of my life for a 2-minute segment that's going to make me laugh.
I don't watch commercials. I don't know. It's just that I believe that even with the transitions and I mean we have witnessed some different writing skills and techniques in Saturday Night Live, but I have just been consistent. I am always about manifestation, and I manifest not necessarily if I never end up on Saturday Night Live, I manifest being in that circle and being a writer and being, I love it.
You want to be a writer?
It's been a staple in my life for so long. And, I did a show with Chris Kattan recently. So
that dude.
It's working.
That dude, he's in the Saturday Night Live family.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude's
He did
that was
from
that was seasons. That was towards the end of the era that was kind of funny. I think, in my opinion, and comedy's subjective. There's plenty of people that think funny comedy SNL is still funny today. It's just. I just think it's just very few and far between. There's some skits here and there that are good, but I'm not going to watch a whole.
Maybe it's not the skits for me. It's just that I'm such a fan of the individuals, Leslie, Keenan, Chris Redd. I mean, and then like I said, Punky. I'm just such a fan of. You see these people who have been stand-up comics or actors and actresses and improvisational people for years, and you've seen their career, and to see it's like the pitch for me. If I don't win the pitch, if I do, to even be in that category for me as a Black woman.
You're gonna win.
You never know. I'm happy.
I think you're gonna win.
I'm very happy.
It's obviously between you and Aaron. I think you're gonna win. Who knows? But I don't know.
Whatever the outcome is, it just, when you see people and you see that grind and their careers, and it's like you know the name, like Saturday Night Live, regardless of how, Saturday Night Live, even if you hate it or love it, Saturday Night Live. And to have your name and your career associated with that, or to have it be a credit or be on your resume, is such a huge plateau and such an honor.
It's a big plateau. It's a big honor. But does it kind of, like, especially today, does it kind of pigeonhole you into that? And I guess maybe you can catapult from that into something bigger if you wanted
Absolutely.
to.
I mean, everybody that's been on Saturday Night Live has catapulted it into something bigger. I believe so.
Some of the old school ones, but
even this new generation,
like who?
Definitely.
Like who?
I mean, and then some people, Leslie Jones is a prime example. She is now the host of the new Supermarket Sweep. She becomes a game show host, but imagine where that gets you. And I mean, Leslie has been in several things. I mean, you get to do voice work. You get to be actors in several.
Look, I don't know.
Movies.
I don't think about it. It doesn't seem like it at all.
Like Ego, for instance, she came in as a feature and barely had any sketches, and now she's a mainstream person on the show. I mean, you've seen Kenan Thompson work his way up. One of the writers, Sammy J, like, she's a writer for Saturday Night Live, and I mean, I've watched her career before Saturday Night Live being a writer, and now, I mean, she has a Netflix special. Now she has her own show on HBO. So
I guess I look at, like, some of these things as, like, dying, as dinosaurs, as far as, like, TV and television. Like, I feel like there's ways you could go that are bigger than that.
I mean,
but I understand.
It's all about your individual goal,
like,
too.
No, for sure. I'm not. If that's your individual goal, I strongly support it and wish that for you. But I just think you could be even bigger than that. Like, Saturday Night Live's big as reputation, but how many people actually are watching it? As opposed to,
it's been on forever.
I know it has been, but like the actual numbers, like, how do they compare to like a Netflix type thing?
But my thing is too, though, like I said, it's a staple. It's something like I have been watching it.
It's exactly. A dream, for sure.
I've been watching it since I'm 36.
I know you're. Yeah, we're the same. We've been
exactly.
The old schools SNL.
Exactly. So imagine, and then before my era, like the Belushi era, like imagine that era of people who watch it and are still watching it. So it's like.
But I don't think those people are watching. I think they're
bullshit. My mom is one of those people.
I think, but no. Of course there are some, but I think that number. I think they were like feeling. I think they're in that camp of it hasn't been good since then. Oh, you got some mint in your. Sorry. Oh, it's still there. There you go.
I got it. Oh,
I know. Sorry about that. That's the
it's
danger of putting
I like it.
fresh mint leaves in your whiskey.
I like it. You drink it gracefully, and I'm like, every time I drink it, it's a plant in my mouth. So.
Well, what it is I have a giant broom on the end of my lip. This beard and mustache, so it just kind of.
I shaved mine off before I got here. I wasn't prepared.
You know what I'm like? I'm like those. I think it's Oh, it's not. Gosh darn it! It's a whale. The whale with the giant brushel teeth.
I don't know.
I don't think it's a blue whale, but there's a whale with like these giant whisker-like looking teeth, and it just filters all the plankton and shit they eat. That's kind of like what this thing is.
Yeah. Well, mine is not filtering. I'm tasting the
all
manufacturer of the glass as well.
Here's a true story about these glasses.
Okay.
Have you ever been down in the crossroads of Kansas City?
Yes.
Hey, do you know the place called Parlor? It's like the double-story food hall.
Yeah.
I stole these. I didn't steal them illegally, but let's just say I took these.
We have a bond.
We do?
Yes. Oh my God.
How so?
We have a bond.
Because we're drinking out of stolen glassware?
No, I too take glasses from restaurants, and I just did it at the Denver Biscuit Company Friday. I took a beautiful purple painted mug, coffee mug, and it was my first coffee mug. I
haven't taken a coffee mug yet.
And this is the thing, I always tell my waitress this is about to happen, and normally my waitresses are like, just leave a nice tip, and I'm not, because who the fuck is doing glass inventory?
Right.
So, especially when I lived in Houston, that was my thing, because like certain restaurants, your meal comes in a cast iron skillet. And so I've had waitresses like, here's 2 bags, put it in this skillet, and if you could just walk out diligently.
Because you told them beforehand?
Yeah, I always do. I'm a Libra, I'm an empath, so I don't want you to be doing your shift and get fucked at the end of your shift because some old lady stole a cast iron skillet or a fucking U of H mug, whatever. So,
cast iron skillet, huh? I like that.
I have taken several cast iron skillets from Razoo's at said locations in Houston, Texas.
Razoo's nice. Seafood, right? That's a seafood place. Yeah.
Yes. I love glasses. I recently, like I said, just got a mug from the Denver Biscuit Company here in Westport.
I'm gonna go to Chili's and get the fajitas and take that little.
So the nacho dish. I think my aunt, because I used to live with my aunt in Houston, and I left that. I did get a serving, the like salsa serving dish from, I forgot, I don't remember what restaurant it was. I don't remember, but yeah, that is my jam. Like, I collect, I love it. And I don't steal. I don't call it stealing. I ask. And even if you say it's not recommended, I'm just letting you know it's happening, girl. Or sir, whoever's my waiter.
I want to actually, I don't want to tell anybody. I want to get away with it, and I want to steal it.
Oh, no.
I got, so yeah, we need to do a little bit of, the glassware is great.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful, though.
Have you thought about this? I've taken, from Red Lobster, the big old pepper grinder, wooden pepper grinder.
Oh my God! How did they don't even let you touch it? How did you take it?
I used to work there.
Oh, okay.
But you can still you can go to the serving stations when no one's looking.
Swipe it. God
Pepper
damn
grinder.
it! I gotta go back down Nolan Road.
Well, it's right here. It's
exactly.
Right,
that's what I'm saying.
Red Lobster's like 2 miles.
I'm gonna run in and grab a lobster out of tank Anna, because oh my gosh,
I had a lobster there.
I want one of those
ago.
Parmesan joints too.
Yeah.
God,
I should have got one of those.
But yeah, I love stealing. I'm not stealing.
Yeah, you do.
Strong borrowing glasses from establishment, and not just glasses, plates, salsa dipping containers or
ramekins.
Yeah, ramekins. As well as, whatever, coffee, whatever moves the spirit, whatever is cute at that restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that I would have jacked Applebee's, knowing that half of them were going to close, especially the one in Grandview.
I didn't know they were closing.
A lot of them have closed in Kansas. The one on State Line is closed, 135th and State Line, and the one in Grandview closed.
We got the one right down here.
Really? I just want like the paraphernalia, the pictures. Like they had the one in Grandview, they had like a lot of nostalgic like Grandview basketball, like, photography. And I graduated from Grandview. I would so have snatched that up. And that stupid airplane hanging from the ceiling, but that's another story.
Yeah, that'd be cool to have.
Yeah.
Or 54th Street, one of there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's closed now too, right?
No,
in
that's
Grandview?
still good. I don't know. Like 54th Streets can't be closing. Those are great.
I feel like the one in Grandview is like now like a
no way.
It's a seafood joint now. I think it closed during the pandemic.
They still got the one up north.
I don't know. They're everywhere. There's one here.
You know what I want? I want some Hawaiian Bros. And Hawaiian Bros is not consistent. I hate like supporting places.
I don't think I've ever had Hawaiian Bros.
I just want the macaroni salad. It's good.
Macaroni salad.
Mm-hmm. I was hoping it was one in Independence because they're like super spread out. It's not.
God, I don't think so. I don't know what a Hawaiian Bros is.
It's just.
Where do you live?
I feel like I live in a food desert. There's a grocery store by us, but right off of State Line, 100th and State Line and Warnell, between Warnell and State Line.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
I
what's
live by a
out
Quick
there?
Trip. Quick Trip. They have Fuzzy's tacos, but I'm not a fan anymore. I've had too
I
many
don't know what
horrible
that is.
experience. It's a taco place. People like just ran, oh, it's so good. And I'm like, that's because you have not had real tacos. Like, that's not
Independence
tacos.
Avenue. That's where I go for tacos.
Yes. Also Southwest. I love Rico's Lupe.
Southwest Boulevard's got a few spots.
Rico's
I guess.
Lupe, and Rico's
I
Lupe
don't know
is
that. I've
so
never heard of that.
oh my god, it's so authentic because they're closed. Like they take siestas. You never know when they're gonna be open. You never know. But their tacos, I love asada and chicken, but I've had asada. I feel like everybody does decently, but their chicken, I've never had any other chicken street taco like their chicken street taco.
I don't typically get chicken street taco.
What do you do?
Like beef tongue.
Okay, I'm not brave enough. I am either chicken or asada.
Oh, let me tell you something. Get the tongue. You'll have no idea that it's tongue. It's just chopped up meat.
Mm-hmm.
It's so tender and flavorful. You got your onions and cilantro, your little sauce on there. You don't know that you can't look at it and tell what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And when you eat it, you're like, it just melts in your mouth. It's phenomenal.
I'm not that brave.
I know you're not, but if you won't know what you're doing, you won't know that it is that.
I already told you I suffer, like I struggle. Well, I'm off meat officially for like a week, but
get back on it.
Struggle with eating meat because like I don't like the bleeding.
There's no blood in that.
Yeah, but a tongue like that is just
so good.
I struggle. Like I'm over here like, oh my God, it's Charlotte's Web. I can't do that. I can't eat nobody's tongue. Lord Jesus.
Yeah, well, these animals don't have like thoughts like that. You know, they're not talking to each other. They're not humans.
How do you know?
Because I know. Look at them. The science is out there. They're not talking. They're not communicating. They don't have like.
You never watched a Bug's Life or a B movie.
Yeah, see, that's propaganda. That's anti-hunting, anti-meat eating propaganda. They're like, we're going to put this out there. Yes. DreamWorks is great, but stick with Monsters, Inc.
Right. They've created a lot of goddamn vegans in this world.
I will not let, I won't let my kids watch Bambi. I'm a hunter. That's propaganda against. That's an anti-hunting movie. Look at this. This is an animal that was killed and eaten right there.
I thought you got it at TJ Maxx.
No,
God
that's
damn
a
it.
fucking real one.
I was just hoping that was like a TJ Maxx.
That's
piece.
real. That was in the woods. It was shot and killed.
What was it?
It was a deer.
Oh,
Here, you want some more whiskey?
No, because you let me know that was shot and killed, and then
And
I'm gonna be over
eaten.
here, and I'm gonna be over in the.
So it wasn't wasted.
What's crazy is there was this like perfectly laid out squirrel in my parking lot the other day. I was walking, and
It doesn't have a family and it doesn't have friends.
No, I was just like, I'm so sad, but at the same time, I'm like, I wish I could just like. I wish there was a Facebook group to tell somebody like, y'all, dinner's out here. Because I know somebody likes this. Somebody wants this big ass fluffy squirrel.
Not like that, they don't. You don't know how long it's been there.
No, it was fresh.
Nature's
I watched the murder happen.
Oh shit, it was a murder?
So it just didn't get out of it didn't get out of the time. It didn't get out of the way in time.
Oh
so,
no.
Yeah.
I watched a deer get hit a couple weeks ago by a truck.
Oh.
Just bam!
I saw that on the way back from Memphis. I saw like a real bad, and then it made me nervous because I'm like, fuck, I don't want us to hit a deer. But this deer took out an SUV like a motherfucker.
Oh really? This truck hit it and kept going. It didn't fuck it up or nothing.
Oh no, baby! They had the whole squad out there. They had to stop because that front end was gone. Well, the front end was intact, but the deer was attached to the front end.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
hit it just right.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, y'all gonna remember this road trip.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my biggest fear, like traveling up and down the interstate as a comic. Because a lot of the times I travel by myself. This is the first time I was able to actually have someone that would go. And this, oh my God, the blessing is this friend was like, I'll drive, because she wanted to speed.
Is she a comic too?
No, she's actually a DJ, but just a good friend to have. I was nervous just going back and driving through like Southern Missouri and shit by myself. So I'm like, let me bring someone with me. And I was able to sightsee and just see things that I normally wouldn't see during, being on the road. So, but that is like literally my biggest fear is a deer.
Really?
Yes.
That's your biggest fear?
Well, not like my
All
biggest,
right.
but it's on the top 5.
All right.
Traveling.
Me getting abducted and raped by Sasquatch is up among my top 5.
Abducted and raped is like is definitely top 3. However, I'm like, who's doing the abducting? Because if they find
Bigfoot in the Pacific Northwest.
If they find, I'm gonna be like, you know what, you done messed up, because this really is not a kidnapping. Now I want you. So who's kidnapping who? Ow.
Yes.
You tried.
Holla at your girl.
Yes.
Janell Banks up here fucking Bigfoot. Give me that. You know what Bigfoot erotica is?
Oh God.
There's books about Bigfoot sex books.
Like women wanting to have encounters.
And
sexually?
they are. There's a bunch of books out there. It's called Bigfoot erotica. And you know what erotica, like Fabio, was that Fabio?
Fabio,
you know those books? Like with
Yeah.
that long. It's that, but instead of Fabio, it's Bigfoot.
That is weird.
Mm-hmm. There's a whole genre of it. There's a whole bunch of it.
I feel like that's how I feel about dating a dude. That's my Bigfoot fetish. Like, come on.
That's why you like beards?
Oh my God. Yes.
Opposite vaginas and Bigfoot-esque.
Ooh. And if it comes with plaid, let's do it.
I have a plaid. I got plenty of plaid.
Let's do it.
No.
I love plaid. Plaid is like a aphrodisiac for me.
Let's do it.
Yes.
I'm going to put my plaid shirt on.
Plaid and beards and especially like you have a well manicured beard. It's not that bullshit like that middle of the world. I like drink my own pee to survive beard. Like this is a eye deep condition.
Janell, you're turning me on right now.
It's a combed out, well manicured. I can respect that because there's levels to beards. Like and the products are not cheap. Like y'all are like black women paying for natural hair care products. Like y'all really got to invest. And there's like 3 steps. There's 3 different fucking brushes and combs.
Yeah,
I can appreciate that. Like that is taking care of the pussy.
Yes. I have. It's funny. I just put on beard shampoo. I have special beard shampoo.
Don't say it has peppermint in it because I'm staying after the podcast.
And then I put beard oil in it.
Yes, grease the scalp.
Yes. And then I comb it.
Yes.
And then I brush it.
Don't hide.
And then I put product in it and I shape it and mold it. And let me tell you something. I just took a shower today. So you see it's a little curly and it's a little wild.
Yes.
But I'll also straighten it. And then it's like a perfect straight.
Yes. So I have started watching those videos and I'm like, so there's a guy who actually has like a do-rag company for beards because he does waves in his beard. And
I don't know if my hair's thick enough for that.
It is definitely thick enough.
Oh yeah, it is. But the beard, I don't know if the beard's thick enough.
I feel like it is.
What?
I feel like it is. I think.
No, it is. I got a nice. Yeah. I got a real nice.
See y'all, he's trying to. Oh goodness, we gonna have some wop up in here.
Duh.
We got some wob, a wet ass beard.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That's it. A wet ass beard just dripping
wob.
Just dripping
deep
with
conditioner.
Wop.
Yeah.
Wob dripping with
beard
wop.
oil.
Yes. My new beard oil is pussy juice.
It's been sponsored. This joke and this moment has been sponsored by Crock-Pot Pussy. If you see me do stand up, then you know what Crock-Pot Pussy is.
Crock-Pot Pussy?
Yes.
Oh shit. I gotta go potty. Can we pause for a minute and come back?
Yes.
Do you have a time?
I don't have. Today is deep condition day, hair day with my little sister, but we're no rush.
Let's pause for a minute. Okay. And I'm going to use the little boys' room after that. I might be in there for 15 or 16 minutes. Get my head cleared.
Oh, my gosh. This has been a good time.
Charlie, shut this off for a hot minute. Back at it. We just got back from our little break. And I forgot where we left off, but...
Oh my God, where did we leave off?
I don't know, but I'm really happy that you came and did this. I'm glad Alan hooked this up. You had him on your show. Do you have a show? You have some kind of radio show?
I have a radio show, the Comedy Power Hour, and it is only once a month, but it's the second Monday of each month, and it is a good show so far. We just hit our year mark, so I'm excited.
Oh shit! Mm-hmm. Where can it be heard?
It's actually on KUAW radio. You can hear it on all their platforms, their website. I think they also have like an archive.
Don't forget.
Oh yeah, because it's all in my face. It's you can hear it everywhere on their platforms on KUAW. And they're also their websites, KUAW.org. So yes.
So is this a comedy radio show? What is the?
I know I get nervous about these things. Comedy radio shows.
About what?
We discuss everything.
You have
comedy.
a radio show. Why are you nervous?
So I like to look at different subjects because, like I said, I'm always about comedy and just putting comedy to every perspective of life. So I have a segment called "This is not funny, but it's funny." Just random stories that you see throughout the media, where you just gotta laugh at it. My motto is always just laugh. So
nice.
We cover those things. We cover things that like I said, it's not so funny, but funny. And then shit that's just funny that you like, what? Like just random stories. Of course, tons of Florida man stories. But
if you're ever looking for content, just Google Florida man.
Right. But there's if you think Florida man is it, there's just so many random ass funny stories that happen. So we like to discuss those and just comedy news, politics that are going on, comedy, and just I like to I have a segment at the end of the show where I just like to root for comics that I think just is out here being badass. And then I like to just cover everything in comedy coming up in Kansas City that you can see because it's
podcast
everywhere. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pimp it out.
I will
get the name out there.
I will do it.
I need more than 6 people listening to this thing.
I feel you. I got you. Me and my mom about to be tuned in.
Yes. She likes white boys. Holla at your boy, Miss Janell.
We both like white boys.
Oh shit.
It's triggering. It's just triggering down. It's a family trait.
I mean, one of you can be my main.
I am a great side chick.
All right, there it is. Your mom is my main. You're my side piece.
I'm a great side chick. My attention span, you don't want me full time.
I don't.
That's
right. Okay, I'm down. Hey, so speaking of Florida man, another good one to look up is German man.
Really?
Germans have got some stories that are just as fucked up as Florida.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, they don't have alligators there. Ooh, speaking of alligators, I'm a big fan of YouTube. I do a lot of just YouTube surfing, and today I somehow got down the rabbit hole of kayaks.
Okay.
And it started out with this dude kayaking in the jungle, maybe like Florida or something. Not the jungle, but like Florida, Everglades, like canopy forest type thing. And an alligator attacked his kayak and knocked him over. Just like he's just kayaking through, minding my own business in my blue kayak.
Just getting cardio.
just whatever, chilling. It's beautiful scenery, nice, whatever. And all of a sudden you see this alligator from the left all of a sudden start swimming. And then it like kind of not jumps out of the water.
Like a movie.
But lifts out of the water and just hits the kayak, pushes it over. The dude tips over upside down.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Now, at that point, the alligator is probably like, oh, shit, this isn't something I can eat. Probably got hurt and took off.
Mm-hmm.
But, the guy is like, oh, my God, I just flipped upside down. This alligator's about to eat me. I have to hurry up and get the hell out of this thing. It's so good. I watched it over and over. I kept pausing it by freeze framing it, watching the alligator just dun, dun. And you could tell like the guy was breathing hard afterwards and freaking out. And he took like 30 seconds to gather himself together, and then just like he books it out of there, just paddling as fast as he can to get the hell out of there.
I would have. Let me tell you, that is scary. I don't deal with water situations well. Like I fell off a raft and I thought I was dead, and so I literally gave up, and my friends were like yelling at me like, one, dummy, you're in a life jacket. And 2, the boat was like, they were like, Janell, and I'm like, no, I'm dying. It's okay. It's okay.
I've made my peace.
I've met my maker. I'm not gonna fight it. It just was meant to happen. And they're like, turn around. And I'm like, no, it's okay. I'm dying because I'm in my life jacket, so I haven't died.
Right.
And they're like, no, the boat is behind you. Just turn around and grab the ladder.
You've been above water this whole time.
The only time I was probably underwater is my initial contact with the water. Right. But I just knew I was going to die that day in Lake Conroe. And I was ready. But I'm glad I didn't, because they put all these great shows on Netflix. So, so yeah.
Well, I'm glad you didn't either, because now you get to be here.
Great.
And I get to talk to you.
Absolutely. Yes. In 10 years, we'll look back from now when we're raising our child and I'm a single parent. I'm like, fuck you and your little podcast.
We're like, but Janell, we love it. We have so much fun here drinking whiskey.
Yes, and that is probably how a lot of women got pregnant. So, just kidding.
It was just 3 of them, and 2 of them aborted. So it's fine.
But yeah, it's been a great time. Like, I'm so, like I said, just meeting different people in Kansas City who like have been like, oh my God, I heard you are a stand-up. It's pretty cool. I thought I knew everybody in Kansas City. I don't. I really don't.
Kansas City's small,
but it's still
super
big.
Still has, I don't know. Yeah. It is. It's big enough.
It's a small major city.
That's what I say. It's like a big city that's a small town mentality. Because like you're saying with like the comics, there's probably a ton of comics out there that you're probably unaware of.
Absolutely.
And yeah, when I saw the podcast list of best local podcasts out there, there was a bunch on there, like a couple on there I've never seen before. And then you just realize like how many, there's I don't know, there's probably 1,200 rappers in Kansas City. There's probably 200 podcasts in Kansas. Like, how many stand-ups are there? Like, it's and with stand-up, it's just a ongoing thing. I know for you as a podcaster, especially with this pandemic, everybody started a podcast. And so there's they started a long time. Everyone's got a podcast.
Yeah. And I mean, everybody goes through a podcast phase, and just so I can't think of how many times people have recommended me to do a podcast.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, y'all, I'm not consistent. Just when I think about purchasing the equipment, like everything, like this studio, this space is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I can't, like, mama likes shoes and weed, so I can't see myself purchasing all of this, but it's also
I stole most of it.
It's a full-time job, you know. It's to be consistent on recording and building content, and then also staying on top of posting and algorithms and just the different platforms that you have to push your podcast to, and then to do the research on the background to make sure this is a legitimate source to push your podcast. It's a lot. Like,
I better start writing some of this down and start to implement some of that.
You got it together. You got it together.
I'm so glad you think so.
You got it together.
Yeah.
You would not be nominated multiple times for the pitch.
It's not that, you know what? It's not that hard. If I got nominated twice, it ain't that hard.
Okay.
I think. I don't know.
Well, maybe
I don't get it.
2021 is going to be dope for me.
I think 2020 is going to be dope for you with this. I think you're going to win.
Yes.
I think 2021, you'll probably win.
Well, this year, I didn't want to kill the competition, but next year I will.
Okay.
Literally. Yeah. I'm ready, I'm ready to, I totally believe in like the Nancy Kerrigan method. Just kidding.
No, you're not, and I love it.
Yeah.
I'll be your goon. Give me a pipe.
Listen,
I'll go bust some kneecaps.
Listen,
let's go.
Brandon, Patrick.
Well, Brandon's in Denver now. He moved to Denver.
I travel.
Okay.
Yeah. Because Chris Porter was on the other one, and I lost against Chris Porter, which automatically made me assume first place. I was like, Chris Porter doesn't live here anymore, so I don't have to kill him.
Yeah, I don't like when that's why. And remember my previous statement when the Kansas City magazine is full of shit and bullshit.
Somehow I made it on the list though, so I gotta give them credit.
That's awesome and great, but you see where I'm coming from.
Yeah, because I didn't know any of the other guy. I was like, and I Googled because I'm petty with a purpose. So I was like, who are these people on my territory that I don't even know? You know, of course I did that for the pitch as well, but at least I like have met these guys.
Like you knew. Let's be real. You knew 2 of them
on that list. I knew all of them. I knew all of them.
You knew Teague Hayes.
I knew Teague. Yes.
You knew
Jamie. Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We've done a show together.
And who's the other person? There was another person. Right?
Aaron.
You know. Oh wait, I just thought maybe you just knew Aaron, so you knew all of them.
We've all performed together.
Okay.
And that's why I that's one of the reasons why I just felt I deserve to be on the list. I've been in every comedy room in this city. Respect my authority.
Do you go up to the Rhino?
They never booked me at the Rhino.
They have an open mic night, and it's a really good open mic.
So let me tell you about comedy. Once you get to the point of traveling the country and doing things, the last thing you want to do is go to an open mic. No, it's not about being too good because I love working out material. It's the principle of going to an open mic and being amongst your peers who know you just got off the road from New York, Memphis, New Orleans, LA, whatever, and they want to put you 40 on that list or 29 or 13 or 14.
What if you went to like a place hypothetically called the Rhino Room, and hypothetically the host of it was like somebody named Aaron Scarborough, and you went up to him and said, "Hey, put me on number 4 or 5," and he was like, "Yeah, I would do that."
I mean, this is a thing. I will say I sometimes block my blessings because I just won't pop up at an open mic because I've been to open mics and I know the status quo and how I get treated. So,
have you been to the Rhinos open mic?
I've never been to the Rhinos. It always fell on a week where I was just tired. Like I told people, I work a full-time job and travel full-time. Okay. So it'd be like on Mondays and Wednesdays is the last time you're going to catch me on Club Couch.
It's a really good, whatever. It's a good, I've done it a few times and I've gone out there. It's on Wednesday nights and it gets packed.
And it does.
It gets packed. And you could get up there and be like one of the early performers and speak to like, when I say packed for this, I mean, it's 50, 60 people.
But for an open mic,
but
that's
it's a
good.
small, it feels big.
And it feels mighty.
It feels big. It is,
well, when the Rhino comes back,
and I hope they're coming back.
Please bring me back. I'm
you just go
funny. I'm so funny. No, I like to be invited to places. I'm one of those people.
What if you just put your own thing on? Because they do that too. We're like, hey, Rhino, I would like to put on my own comedy show. I'm headlining. Maybe hire an opener and then just sell tickets to that.
That would be nice.
You can do that.
I think I could. I struggle with getting a crowd out. Like that is and I hate, because I'm an empath, I hate asking. I'm not one of those people. I do not like asking.
I hate asking.
I do not
get on
like
that mic,
Janell. Tickets. I don't like selling tickets. I don't like ask. It's very hard. And I had when I first started comedy, it was easy because it was like, whoa, you're doing this. And then when you get to the point where you've been doing this for 9 years every weekend, people just think, oh, if I don't catch her this weekend, I'll catch her next weekend, or I'll catch her at the next big one. And so it has just become like, you get to the point where you just want to focus on what I am doing on stage and how I'm presenting myself on stage, because that's the bigger picture to me. Selling tickets it becomes stressful, and then trying to get people to invest in you. Also, then you get people who just are total like, oh, well, I enjoyed the show, but the first comic, he said something, and then the wallpaper and in the bathroom, like, it was this weird thing. I didn't like the paper towels, and it's just like, bitch, but was I funny? Like, that's all that matters. Right. And so just when you do comedy for years and years and years, you just kind of get to the point where I'm a loner. I like going to shows alone. Even when I just go to a show to watch it, I like to go alone, because I don't give a fuck about your feedback. Did you laugh or not? I don't care what the wings taste like. I don't care who was funny at this point. I don't, I don't care. And then some people just start to build this bias. Like, when you invite your friends and family, they just want to see you, and they don't realize that it's not just me. Like, there's other people. Like, I love my mom to death. She's the best hype man, but she'll get to be like, that baby should have ironed his clothes. And I'm like, you said it loud to where everybody could hear you, Mom. Now you're not a supporter, you're a heckler. So it's so many levels to like appreciating it and just wanting to do it. And I think once you become a person who's your own booking agent, your own booker, your own, your own chauffeur, your own, I pack my own bags, literally, I do my own makeup for everything, my own hair, just booking my own hotels, making sure, I damn near done my own oil changes on my car before I go on the road. So being able to maintain all of that and schedule all of that, I don't give a damn how you feel about the show. I'm just happy that you're here. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes it just becomes very hard to like say, hey, buy a ticket to a show. Yeah. And I think I've gotten to the point where I've done shows with a lot of big names that people just want those big name shows. They don't really give a damn if you are at blah, 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 It's sad, but it's true.
So other than SNL, do you have, you had spoke earlier upon maybe going to New York, and mm-hmm. then with the pandemic, especially New York, it kind of shut that city down. It's really hard to do it. I think they're doing a few outdoor shows out there now. And
a lot of the outdoor shows.
And I guess COVID's really kind of screwed up comedians a lot. It's affected you guys immensely, more so than a lot of other businesses. Speculating that we get past all of this sometime next year, like what are any of your future plans and goals, if you have any, to like move to a New York or LA or something like that? Is that something you're want to pursue to get out of the Midwest and make more of a name for yourself and get that next step and that next stage in the comedy ladder?
I definitely still want to move to New York. Like I said, it's just, to me, I love doing stand-up, but I also love being a writer. I love being a content creator, not necessarily creating the content, but being the voice behind, the content and directing it and giving that ideal and concept. I struggle with being on camera. So for me, I love just being that creative force behind it. And I think a lot of those opportunities to get into that world or to network are still in New York. But then again, we've changed to where now you can audition for any and everything from, the comfort of your own home. So I just love New York makes me hustle and grind. I think being on foot makes me more proactive, whereas here I can drive from gig to gig and it just kind of makes me be more comfortable.
That's interesting. Yeah.
So there I'm on foot. I'm having to maneuver around and learn, like everything is a learning experience to me. So it just makes me a little bit more hungrier.
Okay. You just want to walk around with your crystals.
Yep. In my backpack. I love carrying a backpack. That is so that's just my mindset. I think, I just think on a bigger picture, because I think being here, I get so caught up on people don't like me and this comic doesn't like me and this person, didn't say hi to me. And I should not give a fuck at this point in my career, because there's always going to be people that like you the bigger you get. Like I look at Lizzo, she's such a inspiration to me, because you have half of the world like, oh my God, put your clothes on. And you have the other world like, yes, give me more, so I just have to kind of get outside of that small town perspective and just realize, go for it. Like I feel like I've made a name, I've made history and so I need something bigger.
I want something bigger.
Something bigger. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You want something bigger? Do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Reach for it.
I'm gonna do it, girl. I'm gonna do it, girl.
Go for it. Like once this shit comes, I think it's so. There's of course a lot of negatives going on with COVID, but I'm always the one that tries to look at the positive things that can come from tragedy.
Yeah.
From negative things. And right now with COVID, a lot of people, especially city dwellers and especially New York, they're kind of understanding the ramifications and the downfalls of being in a compacted area when something like a pandemic happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like they got affected more than any other city in the country, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of people are moving out of there. Crime's rising. A lot of negative shit's rising. Their government's kind of fucked up in that city. However, with a lot of people moving out from there, I think rent is going to drop down because rent in New York City is out of this world.
Out of the
like
world,
this
yeah.
studio will probably cost you $1,000 minimum a month, probably more than that.
Mm-hmm.
And so with everyone moving out, maybe rent prices will start falling down like it did back, I don't know, like the early 80s, and then artists started moving in. And so maybe there would be an opportunity with this where you could get like an affordable rent down there.
Yeah, that was my biggest
and just
fear.
Start popping 7 or 8 comedy clubs a night and just hustling.
I love it. I love it. And my mom, she hates when I travel there because I'm by myself on foot walking through Harlem at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning coming from a gig, and I'm just like,
Harlem's not as bad as it used to be.
Yeah,
when you say Harlem, you think like the 80s Harlem, like
I have to tell her,
but it's not as bad as it Harlem's like fine now.
This is one thing Alan has told me, and it has resonated with
Harlem
me.
Nights, baby.
Yes, that traveling, he's like, don't ever have a fear, do not have anxiety, you are covered because this is already aligned for you. This is already meant for you to do. So
Alan said this. Yeah, of course he did.
Yeah, he was like, so you are, and
then when he finished it off with namaste and shit.
Right, namaste and shit. And real talk though, like, and that has what has gotten me through traveling, especially like people don't understand just being on the road by yourself. I have a massive driving anxiety. I didn't start driving on the highway so I was like 25 years old. Like I literally I was in a really bad car accident and had to learn how to walk again in high school. My first driving experience is when I still had a permit, So for me, it took me a long time to be able to just be comfortable in a car, and I'm still not. So to get out on the road and then travel from city to city, stay in hotels, just maneuver. And I'm a very friendly person. Some people hate it. Some people love it. I speak to everybody. I spark a conversation. I do not meet strangers. So
you told me earlier an introvert. That's not this.
I'm an extrovert, introvert, but I think when I'm nervous and I have to feel some peace of mind, I'm like, oh, Gertrude with the Klan hood on. What's poppin', girl? I like white after September 2. Like, I make some people, like I said, some of my friends are like, you got to stop talking to everybody you meet. But I love it. I just speak, even dogs, birds, whatever. I'm like, hey, everything's girl to me. So I'll be like, hey, girl, it could be a copy machine. I'll be like, look, girl, you better make these copies, so it brings me some peace of mind, I think.
Whatever works for you.
Yeah, whatever. Crystal Stones, whiskey.
Crystal Stone, whiskey. High West whiskey, double rye. Holla at your boy.
Holla at your boy.
Sponsor me.
Please do.
I need to start looking for some sponsors.
I think you should have some.
Paid.
You should.
Pay me.
I got a couple of dollars in my purse.
What do I got to do for it?
I mean, you already did it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Give me a couple dollars. Once we turn these mics off, I'm going to make the real bucks. Magic Mike ain't got nothing on me.
He got a magic mic, y'all.
I got the magic stick. Girl.
Oh, this is hilarious.
This is hilarious. This has been real. You want to cut it quick before it gets real off the rails?
I don't know. This whiskey it's moving your spirit.
You want more?
It's like I want some, but I don't need it.
You want some, but
it's going to kick in at the wrong time. If
it ain't kicked in by now, I haven't eaten today either.
I had a couple. That life.
Yeah, I do got that life. I am a professional fuck up artist.
Yeah, I am about that. I'll be 2 hours from now throwing up, trying to figure out where I went wrong.
Well, it's Sunday. You're supposed to do that.
No.
Figure out where you went wrong. Figure it out and then pray.
This is
pray.
true.
I went wrong.
This is true.
I went on this dude Ryan's Neanderthal podcast got lit. Ended up sleeping with him and his producer, and I don't know what happened.
So, yep.
Edit that. Edit.
Yeah.
Delete.
Yeah, that's what I feel like brunch was for us millennials. Like people love mimosas, the mimosa culture, but I'm like, y'all, champagne and orange juice is not good for your body. If
You got to
in your
drink
30s.
so much of it.
No, you do not. That's the thing. Like I don't know. Like I don't do pasteurized orange juice very well with the champagne. Like it is like it's been days where I have driven home and I've gotten home and I'm like, well, how did that happen? What does Leslie say? Well, shit, y'all. That's how I feel. Like I don't think mimosas are for, like, maybe with orange or champagne and grape juice or something, but not orange juice. It's not a good combo.
Have you ever, I'm going to completely steer this in a different direction. I got a couple different questions and a couple, wow, I'm fucked up. I can't talk, I'm fucked up.
And he trying to offer people my whiskey, y'all.
No, I'm not. Yes, I am. You want some more? All right. One question. I'll go with this first. Do you know who Miss Pat is?
Yes.
You like her? Is she the best?
Yes.
She's so great.
Yes.
And I didn't know if you were aware of her. I was gonna.
Yes.
Okay.
I have met her. Yes.
Oh, you met her?
Yes, when she did the improv before the pandemic. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
She's fucking hilarious. Mm-hmm. Her story is so good.
Hilarious.
Her story, how she grew up, shot in the ass, shot in the titty, crackhead father that had a crackhead baby at like 12 or something, crazy shit like that. All right. Oh shit! What's my other question? What were we talking about before that? Crackhead, Miss Pat. Oh, I got it. Have you ever thought or would consider or has a thought crossed your mind of like being a mentor or bringing anybody else into the world of comedy, like maybe other women of color?
I feel like I do.
Is there something you think about or would want to do that?
I want to. I've tried it. Monisha says I'm a great mentor, and I'm like, girl, I don't know what I'm doing. But people have reached out to me. But I feel like I'm kind of pretentious because I always tell people try an open mic, and I know it comes off as like very like whatever, because to somebody who's trying to pursue it, they don't see it. But I'm like, I can't honestly, like, for me, it's hard to mentor you if I've never seen you at a comedy show or open mic or anything, because I try to explain to people to get to where, like, people see me at the Improv a lot and they think, well, like, it's just, a phone call, a text or whatever. It was me knocking my glass. But I had to explain to people, like, you have to constantly be seen by them. And it's not just the open mic. It means going to shows and like, constantly going to shows and going to comedy related things. And so sometimes I feel like I fail people on mentorship because that's where we kind of drop the ball, and it's not like I'm trying to test people like, yeah, you gotta come to my open mic or my show. It's just like, I just would like to see that you do comedy before you tell me you aspire to do comedy.
No, I think that's really smart. I think that, like, don't waste my time.
Yeah.
Do this shit. Take this step first. Let me see how serious you are, and then I will start moving in that direction of taking you under my wing types.
Yeah, because a lot of people expect for you to like be like, oh, you're gonna put me on a show, or you're gonna, and I'm like, no, I can't vouch for you. Like, I'm still vouching for myself, and even like I did 5 shows recently with a big legendary comic to the where the headliner of the show was like, I don't even want her on my show. She's good.
She is. You guys can see her with Dave Chappelle.
No,
next month's opening.
But I wish we're gonna speak that in the universe. But it gets to a point where you have, like, I still audition, and that's why I try to tell people, like, every gig I do is an audition. And even after doing 5 sold out shows with a legendary comic, I still have to turn around that same night and go do another venue as like a guest spot to audition to get people's proof to book me. And I'm like, y'all just pulled me from another show because you thought I was funny.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, when it comes to mentoring, I try to express to people, like, there's always going to be a constant. You have to prove yourself. You're always taking the fucking SATs, ACTs when you do comedy. So like, I have to, not necessarily I have to see you first, but I just have to see that you're interested. You don't say I want to go to the NFL and you never fucking threw a football. So that's just where I meet a lot of people. Like, literally every time I do a show, there's somebody who writes me and is like, I just really want to get out there. And then here comes they'll express 3 paragraphs worth of shit. And I'm like, go to an open mic. And it seems like a dick move, but I've literally 9 years and I still do open mics. I literally headlined a show somewhere in the middle of Illinois and drove back 7 hours on a Sunday at random to do a guest spot at the Improv in Kansas City, which is the same comedy club who has paid me to feature. So it's always constant work and constant backtracking, and you know what I'm saying? So like, just like, do comedy before you say you want to do it, because people think that it's amazing, and it is, don't get me wrong, but there's some other sides to it that people don't see, and a lot of times we don't express because shit, we're embarrassed, or you just don't express your hardships like that. So open mic it, and then like get screwed over by a janky promoter, and then believe in yourself and start producing shows, and then start getting screwed over by more promoters after you produce shows and soak them out, and then tell me if you still want to do comedy.
Janell Banks has been screwed over by producers, I would show promoters.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, sleep in your car, sleep at a place that you don't feel safe or scared in.
Do that for sure.
Have a motherfucker pull a gun out on a group of people to get paid. Like, there's so many stories I can talk about with comedy, and people just don't understand the other perspective of it. You have to really want to do it. I believe that it is my purpose and my calling, and the reason that I firmly exist on this earth is to be funny. So you have to really want to do it. And it's not just the cute stage part of it,
It's the work that goes into it. It's a grind, like anything else.
Yeah.
Like any kind of passion, any kind of goal. It's not going to come easy. You got to put the work in.
Yeah. It's an investment. It's a hell of a monetary investment. It is. People don't understand. I travel across the country for free to perform comedy because I believe in myself. There's no kickback from it. When I do comedy
travel
festivals,
for free.
Yeah, I mean, but it's traveling free because I'm paying for it.
Like, don't get me wrong. I travel for free. I do travel for free, but I have to sleep with the ugliest women to do so. But it works. Like, you gotta
I'm sleeping with myself, so you see how it is. But it's definitely something you have to have it's so many different things that you have to stay focused and positive about.
There's levels to it.
Yeah, it's levels. Crowd interaction. I can have a phenomenal show, and there's that one person who will come to me with I don't think that was, or this is politically, or this is, you should, or like lately, people who have been coming to comedy shows, I appreciate them, because you have to really, like, now you're committing to not only buying 1 ticket but 2 automatically when you come to a show. You're dealing with all the CDC, guidelines, and then, just being brave enough to be in a room with other people who are literally hacking their fluids from their mouth, from which the COVID came from, in a room with you. A lot of these people are drunk, and my favorite part is when they yell at you and follow them on Instagram, and they're like, hey, you should follow me. Like, I liked you, but you should follow me. And I'm like, you just paid $40 to see me. Follow me. Like, but
Janell, do you follow me?
I do.
Okay.
I really do. In your dreams too. I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, you chase me in your dreams.
But yeah, I appreciate people coming to shows and being drunk and just enjoying themselves. Like, I feel like every literally the first show, people are very conservative. The second show in the night, people are fucked up, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's real, but then it's like, oh baby, I can't hug you because that thing.
That thing.
Yeah.
That thing. That thing.
Right. That's what the COVID should be. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, why did somebody market that as a song?
Because Lauryn Hill's crazy. That's why.
Oh my God. It really is that thing that, girl, you should watch out.
Yeah. Boy, you know you should. Watch out. That girl might sneeze on you.
From her mouth.
Yeah. That thing. That COVID.
Yes.
Yeah. Look out. That virus is going to get you.
Yo, hands.
I ain't afraid of that fucking virus. Fuck that virus.
I am afraid.
You are?
I am.
Oh man, I've taken trains, planes, and automobiles all around. That shit ain't phasing me none.
Like, I mean, in real life, I love traveling. But I've always kind of secretly been a germaphobe and afraid.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't even. Well,
yeah,
okay.
but now I'm like going to Memphis. I literally sprayed everything with Lysol. No, sir.
I'm such a bad influence.
I know
I'm
you
so bad. I'm a bad man.
You are. That's that you are. So yeah, I don't. Germs. I mean, because you think about like even working in an office setting. Like I know several times. Like I literally leave an airport and come to work sick, tired, exhausted, don't know what germs I brought from where, and then
you take vitamins and
I try to take airborne. I love sea moss, I love apple cider vinegar. I love to consider myself a holistic person because I hate doctors. So yeah.
You hate science.
No, I don't hate science.
You hate science.
I hate doctors because it's like you can go to the doctor, like being overweight, and you go to the doctor. It doesn't matter what's wrong with you. They're like, well, you're obese.
Not that overweight.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter. It's like no matter. I'm like, I know that I'm fat, but I broke my arm.
You're not fat.
Oh my gosh, you have to say that because you love me now. But honey,
if you were fat, I called you fat. You're just
under this hoodie is some good love.
Is it?
And then extra good love, and then a little bit more good love, and like a pinch.
Shut the mic off. Turn this bitch
I'm
off.
plus size. I embrace it. But yeah, sometimes, like, I don't get me wrong. I love going to the doctor, doing my checkups. But sometimes I hate it because I'll be like, ow, like I got a bug bite. Recently, I had an allergic reaction to a spider bite. And
damn.
I'm
for real?
It was bad.
What kind of spider do you know?
I did not know the spider.
Where'd it bite you?
It bit me on my arm, and it was just traumatic. Like my whole arm was just.
For real?
3 of my arm. Because at first I was just fighting it out. I was like, oh, I'm just going to put some ointment on it.
Are you sure it was a spider? It couldn't have been.
That's what they perceived that it was. Because it was just this big lump in one spot. And it went to town on my ass. And like I thought I put like some bentonite clay on it thinking, oh,
some what?
This clay, black women use it for everything. And we do facial masks with it, but it also like sucks poison out of things and stuff like that. And so I put that on it, and I'm thinking, oh, when I wake up in the morning, I'm gonna be straight. Woke up and I was like, oh, bitch, you got 3 arms.
All right, Janell. Science is bipartisan. It doesn't care about anything.
It's very bipartisan right now.
It's very, yes. Whatever. It's like, it just wants the truth. It just wants to help you out. Follow science, not these wacky little, what was it you're putting on your arm?
This clay.
Clay?
Yes.
Clay?
It's like,
Janell, it's 2020. Put some fucking benzo,
I did, but it wasn't like, it would stop the like itching and redness temporarily, but it wasn't stopping the swelling. So I was like, whatever it was, I needed to be sucked out, So that's what that clay was supposed to do. And
all right, I get it.
It's an Indian healing clay. Oh my God.
You're right. When you need to get sucked out, and you need to get sucked out. Like, sometimes Indian clay will do it to you.
God, during the pandemic. Oh my God. Oh, so yeah. Needless to say, 3 prescriptions later, I'm better. But yeah, the shit happens. So I'm very like just common things, like natural colds and stuff. I don't just quickly jump to like NyQuil and things like that. Like I try to battle things.
Right, you try to
I love
rub some crystals on you.
No,
face west,
garlic and honey. Those type of things. I use honey for everything. So yeah, but I try. It's also about being preventative. Like I try to take those things on a natural basis so you don't get sick. I try to boost my immune system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me too.
With whiskey.
With whiskey. With
Tequila
whiskey
is great for your immune system and your body.
Wine's good.
Yeah, I'm a chronic red wine drinker.
I do like a red wine.
I love a red wine. I'm a Pinot Noir. I have to stay away from because it's very much like the Hennessy of wines. It will put you on your ass. And you can feel it in your body for like 72 hours, but that's just my testimony. But yeah, I love red wine. It's my happy place.
Yeah, I like a good red wine. Janelle.
Yes.
I don't think we should go any further.
We've been here for what?
We're going to have to do this again.
Yes, absolutely.
You want to do it again?
I would love to.
I'm always looking for fun comics, and okay. I think I made a new friend today.
You did.
I hope I did.
You did.
Bring me a seafood bowl. Yeah.
With the neck bones.
With the neck
bones. Yeah.
You know what? I'm done talking. I'm fucked up.
I think I won. I won.
I'll keep going. It just won't be entertaining and like people won't enjoy it. We'll cut it off and keep going. Like it's Sunday fun day.
Yeah, absolutely.
When we cut this off, I'm still going out tonight. I'm having more drinks.
Yes.
Like shit's gonna get weird. Shit's gonna get real weird tonight.
Get weird. You gotta live your best life.
Last week we had Ghost Hunters on. This week we got the best female comic, and I take that back. We got the best comic in Kansas City right now.
Ooh, you hear that, Brandon?
Brandon lives in Denver. Brandon's in Denver now. Yeah, he's the best comic in Denver. And next week I got Vietnamese coffee woman on talking about that. Like, everything's great.
Is she bringing samples?
I hope she does, but I don't ever ask for anything.
Because I'm going to be over here trying to hold up a brick on the wall.
You want to come on like a chair. If you really want to come, you can come hang out in that chair.
Yes. That's awesome.
I'm going to give this time for you to pimp what you'd like to pimp, say whatever you'd like, talk shit on me or anybody else or whatever you want. This is your time. And then I have to get off here before I make more of an ass of myself. I'm Ryan Westa. This was Neander Talk Podcast. Thank you, everybody. Janelle, take over.
My name is Janell Banks. You know me as Janell Banks or Miss Just Laugh. That's M-I crooked letter J-U crooked letter L-A-U-G H. So you can find me on all social media platforms at Miss Just Laugh, MISSJUSLAUGH, on Instagram, on the Twitter, on the Facebook, as well as MissJustLaugh.com. You can catch me on the NYC Funnies coming up. I'll be doing comedy for New York virtually from my living room in Kansas City. But make sure you catch those shows. I post them on my Instagram with all the details. And next week is my birthday. I'm turning 36. But not only that, I get to bless the Michael Collier Morning Show, which is just a phenomenal, like, outstanding, amazing opportunity. So make sure you check that out and just stay tuned. I'm coming for you, America. I'm coming for you.
She's coming for you. I'm coming in you. Podcast.
Me too.
Goodbye.
Bye.